There's nothing like sitting in a deer stand on a cold deer season morning, watching the sun rise. All the while, bucks are running around, rubbing trees, and scraping the ground, trying to show who the next head honcho buck is. This year, like every Kentucky deer season, we head to the family farm, 133 acres of woodland and cropland. In the middle rests a 2-acre lake. There's plenty of big bucks in here because they have the resources to grow. Hopefully, one messes up and comes in my sights. It's early October in Kentucky, which means it's bow season. This hunt started out textbook perfect. As soon as daylight happens, we have deer everywhere coming in to eat the puzzled deer mineral. She spotted me. Of course, I'm only 20 yards away up in the tree watching them eat that stuff. Of course, when mom splits, baby isn't too far behind. They decide it's time to move off just a little bit. I noticed this old gal's got a little bit of a limp, but I just can't bring myself up to shoot her with her baby around. I don't know why, but it's just something I can't do. Just look at that little guy. Hopefully one of these days this little button buck turns into a good monster I can put on the wall. Pretty unique feature is he's got that sock on his back left foot. It's a pretty neat little deer. The duo eventually decides time to go on and meander on off somewhere. But not long after they leave, I hear a little noise. Lucky for this buck, he's only about 2.5 to 3.5 years old. He's a pretty good buck, but he's not what I'm looking for, and he'll be way better in the next couple years. Even though I'd already made up my mind that I'm not going to shoot this buck, it's incredibly hard to watch him walk away, especially after seeing that big set of antlers. Get your heart pumping real good.
It's been a pretty good day overall. Seen 3 does, 1 decent little buck. He wasn't a shooter, thankfully.
I bow hunted several times after this day, but most days I didn't see much, or they was exactly like this one. I won't waste your time with footage like that again. It's on to gun season now. Let's see what happens. With November here, all the leaves have gone and the bucks are starting to come in the rut. We ought to start seeing some action now. It starts out real promising. We got a little 4-pointer buck following a doe already. That's a good sign that rut is here. Before I can even really think, in comes this buck trotting up this hill. He's easily a shooter. He's an 8-point. I've had him on camera all year. He's a pretty good buck, but where he's at now, it's way too thick to even think about shooting. Gotta pay more attention than that. The rest of that day was filled with a few more does, but mostly these fluffy-tailed critters that only make you think there's a deer around. It's obvious that I blew my only chance today for any kind of a buck. Time to head home, regroup, and try again. Days go by, and I see plenty of small bucks chasing does, and does by themselves, but no shooters come by. I do get the occasional visit from my friend the pileated woodpecker, and plenty of visits from what seems like thousands of squirrels. Then one day, through the trees, I see antlers. I can't tell, but the bigger buck doesn't look to be a shooter. I'm gonna have to wait till he comes in a little closer to know for sure. Luckily for me, he's heading my way.
He's no shooter. Okay.
He may not be a shooter, but sure enough, this whole day turns really good really quick. We start seeing deer left and right. Eventually though, things kind of slow down a little bit. But as soon as I'm getting ready to call it for the morning hunt, I hear a deer and see him coming down the knob. I bump the camera on with my elbow, but it doesn't seem to matter because the buck is on another piece of land and he's not coming any closer. Just like that, he's gone. I missed my shot.
I guess I'm under a curse this year. I don't know. I've seen 3 shooter bucks this year. They travel the same path. Right at the edge of our property line. I have no shot at all. I tried everything I can on that last buck. I couldn't get it. That's the 3rd shooter buck that I've had go up that same path. I'm sick. I'm sick.
Disgusted and defeated, I decided it's time to head down, give it a rest, and come back in this afternoon. After a small break to calm down my nerves a little bit, I head back in for an afternoon hunt. But the night is moving as slow as this katydid is. After a slow night, I decide it's time to pull out some calls and see if I can get something in. It's worth a shot anyway. That's all it takes, and I hear something coming off the knob headed towards me. I get the gun ready, because whatever's coming will be in my sights soon enough. He's at roughly 10 yards. He'd be a really easy kill. Most people wouldn't think twice, but he's a 3.5-year-old deer. He's got really good genes with a tall rack. I know that if I pass him, he's going to turn into something special. So I make the hard decision to let him walk right back where he came from. Right about now, I'm really questioning myself on if I made the right decision. It's hard to let a buck like that go, but ultimately, it's the best decision I could have made.
Baby. I'm shaking all over. I got her tagged out right there. He was real tall, but his width wasn't there, and he was still young. And he's probably a 3.5-year-old buck. I grunted. I've been hearing him up in there all night, and he came in mad. I grunted him on his way out too, and you can hear him up there scraping on trees and rubbing on trees, making sure that the buck that was grinding down here knew it was his spot. And I might be regretting that one because he was tall. But anyway, that was a man. I'm still shaking. Hopefully I don't regret it.
The next few days kind of come and go with little to no action. But on the bright side, I do get to see the buck that I passed up during bow season. This late during gun season, he's got a very good chance of making it till next year. Hopefully, I'll see him then.
Tonight's it. Gun season's over. After tonight. I'm hoping. I know I didn't get any video of it, but it was too far out. Last night, I seen the one I'm after. He was a monster. He was out in the field. Probably 150, 200 yards away. Of course, that's on someone else's land, so I can't even touch that. I tried to get him to come in, but he was a ghost. He barely drifted out. Drifted right back in. He was the one. He's the one I've been after all year long. I'm kind of hoping that he'll come back tonight, but I don't have my hopes big on it. I'm just glad to have seen him. I wish I could have got him on video, because it was a true treasure just to see him.
He doesn't come back in. And just like that, the picture of that buck will play over and over in my head until next year. Hopefully, I'll see him again. All I see this night is a bunch of doe, but for some reason, it never crosses my mind to take a shot at one. I may be going home empty-handed this season, but on the other hand, I got to spend another great season with my dad and brother on the family farm. I got to see multiple bucks that I haven't ever seen before, and I can't wait to see them again next year. It's important to not forget that hunting is much more than the kill. You won't get the full enjoyment of a hunt until you learn to take in nature and all it's showing you. Tag spiel or not, a hunt is always a successful one.